Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You remember after the discussions, the talks in Istanbul between the Russian delegation and the Ukrainian delegation, it's been agreed to one thing. That is, we're going to have a swap of POWs, 1,000 for 1,000. After the negotiations or the talks in Istanbul, the Russians, surprise, came and said, you know what? We are preparing a memorandum, a peace memorandum. And that will be issued, will send to the Ukrainians regarding solving the problem in Ukraine. The Ukrainians, everybody else actually, is waiting for the memorandum. The Russians said, we will send that when the swap between the 1,000 and 1,000 will be completed. Guess what? They completed it. Then what? Now is the memorandum. Let's discuss these two topics. Do you remember when Marco Rubio last week stated that United States is losing patience with Russia? Remember? And he said that they wait for an answer from the Russians until the end of the week. They gave a deadline to the Russians, and the Russians were like, exactly. So, here it is. The first topic, the 1,000 POW exchange. According to Sputnik, 3 hours ago, Russia and Ukraine complete 1,000 for 1,000 POW exchange. Excellent. Today is the 25th of May 2025, Sunday. Today, another 303 Russian servicemen were returned from Kiev-controlled territory, the Defense Ministry reported. In exchange, 303 Ukrainian POWs were handed over. On May 25 of this year, another 303 Russian servicemen were returned from territory controlled by the Kiev regime. Did you like this one? Controlled from the territory controlled. Not from Ukraine, from the territory controlled. In exchange, 303 Ukrainian armed forces prisoners of war were handed over. At present, the Russian servicemen are on the territory of the Republic of Belarus, where they are receiving the necessary psychological and medical assistance. The Russian ministry reported. All Russian servicemen and civilians will be transported to Russia for treatment and rehabilitation in medical facilities of the Russian Defense Ministry, it added. All right. This marks the first phase of a major 1,000 to 1,000 prisoner swap agreed upon during Istanbul talks on May 16. The final, not the first, I'm sorry, I was like, what the hell, I need to read again, baboon. Final phase, and that is Sputnik again. Russia to send Ukraine drafts for settlement memorandum in coming days. As I said many times before, the Russians are consistent in good or in evil. That is, if they promise you $1, they will give you $1. If they promise you a punch in the face, you're going to get a punch in the face. So, with that one, you can take it to the bank. The Russians have been like that. So let's see what maybe these guys are talking about the memorandum. Russia is finalizing its drafts, plural, for the memorandum on the Ukraine conflict settlement and will hand them over to Kiev in coming days. Do you think that this memorandum was not done already? I think it has been done weeks, months, years. Deputy Speaker of Russia's upper house, Konstantin Kosachev, said on Saturday, and I'm quoting, "This memorandum is being finalized. I expect that the relevant Russian developments will be handed over to the opposite side in the next few days. I have this information at my disposal," Kosachev said in an interview with Zvezda TV. "It is unlikely that details will be made public at this stage," Kosachev said. Have you noticed that the Russians have no leaks? Like in America? Have you noticed that? No, zero, squat. And I'm quoting, this is still a negotiation process, and a very complex, very delicate one in many aspects. Have you noticed that the Russians have no leaks? That tells me that the Russians are working as a country without a parallel state, without a deep state, without a swamp. Well, you can call it dictatorship if you want. It's just an observation, okay? And I wonder why. And then you have these leaks always in certain media. Always, just pay attention. It's always certain media that have the leaks. Are they working together? No, the Operation Mockingbird is not working. All right, then I got another article regarding the draft peace proposal coming from Russia Today this time. Russia Today, as I mentioned, draft peace proposal to follow POW Swap, Moscow. The document will include, all right, let's see what it includes. Conditions for a lasting comprehensive settlement. I dislike comprehensive, the word comprehensive. Why? Because these guys in the United States of America, the imbeciles on the left, the communists that is, talk about the comprehensive gun control laws or measures. When I hate comprehensive, it's like, but hey, that's me. Comprehensive. All right. Now I see the Russians are using the same garbage. So Sergei Lavrov said, so conditions, the conditions from the get-go will be, how do you call it, rejected by the Kiev regime. I give you in writing that one. They will not even say, well, let's put it, probabilities and possibilities. Possibilities. Could they, I don't even see a possibility, but could the Ukrainians say, yes, we take it in consideration, some, and let's negotiate. I don't think the guys in charge of Ukraine, not the Ukrainians, the guys in charge of Ukraine would even say, well, that's a good start. Let's talk about where we can meet, and we can discuss the other ones as well. Let's schedule another meeting somewhere and discuss the memorandum, the comprehensive memorandum. No, I don't think they will say that. I think it's going to be mocked by the guys in charge of Ukraine because the guys in charge of Ukraine, they don't want the war to stop. The masters in the European Union right now, I'm talking about Great Britain mainly. I know it's not in the European Union. Doesn't really matter. They are with, as we say in Romania, cu curul în două luntri, with the ass on two boats. So if this one sinks, whoop, moves on this one. If this one sinks, whoop, what if they both sink? Great Britain will sink by itself. Great Britain cannot swim by itself anymore. Lost its empire, bankrupt. What do you want? Second-rated power. But hey, works with other people because it still has a spy network that works very much and has got some finance that are still fooling the world. Produce what? Nothing. Don't even have the Jaguar anymore. Jesus Christ, can you believe that? Do they have the Bentley? Wasn't Bentley British? Maybe the Chinese got it, or the Indians. God damn it. Look who's the mayor of London. Is that Saint guy, whatever his name? He's still there? The guy who loves you, my English friends. Oh my God, you screwed yourself so badly. Russia will be ready to present its draft peace proposal to Ukraine by the time the two sides complete their largest military and civilian POW swap. What? Again, Russia will be ready to present its draft peace proposal to Ukraine by the time the two sides complete. So that means when this completes, they're ready to do it. Well, these guys say it's not so. They say they will do it, blah, blah, blah. It's ready to send. Okay, that means they're ready. That means it's done. Woohoo! All right, in line with what was agreed during the Istanbul talks between Russia and Ukraine negotiations last week, preparing and presenting draft peace proposals was one of the major milestones achieved by Moscow and Kiev during the Istanbul meeting. The first direct negotiation, pop. The second was a major prisoner swap involving 1,000. We got that one. Russia's peace proposal would include, let's see what these guys are saying. Conditions is going to be general terms, obviously, but at least the main topics. Conditions for reaching a sustainable, lasting, comprehensive agreement on the peace settlement. All right, we all want it, but the terms are just different. And I'm quoting Lavrov. As soon as the prisoner swap is over, we will be ready to hand over this draft document to the Ukrainian side. Well, it's over! Adding that the proposal is currently being finalized. Fantastic. Fantastic. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Monday that he had agreed with US Donald Trump, President, that the next move towards resolving the Ukraine conflict should be a memorandum outlining the principles, Russian principles and timeline for a peace settlement put forth by the Russians. The American leader has been pushing Moscow and Kiev towards resolving the POW in Istanbul, tropa. According to media reports, Kiev allegedly reiterated demands for an immediate ceasefire, which the Russian side declined. So, they are working on it. Expectations, it will be, as I said, rejected by the Ukrainians and mocked. I'm looking at this as 99% probability. 100% could be accepted, which I don't think so. And 100% could be rejected in its entirety. I don't think the guys in charge of Ukraine will say, let's talk about it. Don't think so. They're going to mock and say, unacceptable, goddamn, and these guys are not serious. See, that proves again, Russia doesn't want peace. They want a continuous war. They just prolong it. They just baboon you, Trump. They're just playing with you. You're stupid. That's what they will. And the media in the West will say the same message. That tells me something is going on in this little square, not circle. I'm waiting for that guy. I'm waiting for that guy for the comprehensive memorandum settlement, peace settlement. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.